Hello, in this tutorial, you will learn how to update your company settings. Let's get started. To change company settings, you must have the user privilege in TotalEnterprise that enables you to update your company account. We are looking at this company more profitable than gold.com. So we're going to make some changes to the company settings of more profitable than gold.com. Let's get started. To begin, find the general settings menu in the left navigation and click on company. If you cannot find the company page, it means that you do not have the privilege to make changes to the company account. I click on the company form. In this tutorial, we're going to make changes to more profitable than gold.com. There's no address, there are no cell numbers, no phone numbers. A logo has been uploaded. As a matter of fact, I can click on the picture to expand for me to see the logo. It shows me the company base URL. This is a read-only field that is used by TotalEnterprise to sort of generate the links on the dashboard when you click on something. For now, we're not allowing companies to have personalized URLs, but eventually we will have something like more profitable than gold.totalenterprise.io. And then the owner of the company. Now, obviously, Samuel is the one who set up this company, and so he is there as the owner. But at any time, if there needs to be a switch, that can be done over here. Every time there are changes to the company account, as far as its payment status is concerned, we send notifications to the owner. So the purpose of this owner drop down in the software is we're able to use that field to find who is the administrative contact on the company account and notify them of upcoming renewals and overdue payment and so on and so forth. Alright, now we come into this section that is called extra information. In this section, you get to choose settings that affect the daily parameters used by TotalEnterprise to process transactions as you put in data. So for example, the base currency tells TotalEnterprise that anytime you're making any monetary transactions in the software, the default currency is in Ghana cedi. So even if you don't pick the currency, let's say on an expense you are recording, it should know that it is a Ghana cedi entry that you're putting in. That is the purpose of setting a base currency. So in the overall software, when it's also reporting your financial data, it is going to look at the base currency and use it to actually report the financial data. So what that even means is that you can do transactions in TotalEnterprise in the Ghana cedis, and if you want to see the equivalent of the transactions in another currency, actually you can do that in TotalEnterprise. TotalEnterprise is also multi-currency. And to do that, what you would do is you would come and change the base currency to, let's say, United States dollars, and then you just save it. However, for the reports to begin to do a correct foreign exchange, you need to come and set your exchange rate. In another tutorial, I'll go into a demonstration of how this actually looks, but just for a quick demonstration, you would come to exchange rate, and let me just open this in a new tab. And then you would actually define your exchange rate over here. That okay, so I want to be able to do an exchange from the Ghana cedi. From the United States dollars to the Ghana cedis, which is the base currency. Or if I set the base currency to Ghana to USD, then I want to make an exchange from Ghana cedis. So this depends on what your base currency is. And so I can just say today, maybe today's rate is 5.7, and then I can save it. Okay, so that was just a quick one. So if I come back here, the idea here is that the base currency you set is going to be both the currency used by default when you are putting in financial transactions, numbers that have to do with money, and it will also be the currency used in reporting on your financial statement. So when you open your balance sheet, all the financial data that is displayed there will be displayed in the base currency chosen here. So it's a very, very beautiful feature, very, very useful, especially when you are dealing with foreign investors, and maybe you're a Ghanaian company or a Sierra Leonean company, Nigerian company, wherever you're coming from, and you are doing your business in local currency, but for international standards, you want to report your business in a currency that is mostly accepted, which is the United States dollar. So you can just come here. You don't have to go and change or recapture all your financial data in United States dollars. No, all you need to do is come change the base currency to United States dollars, save it, and then when you go view your reports, it will be in United States dollars. So that is the purpose of base currency. As simple as it looks over there, that's how powerful it is. All right, then we come to, I just changed this back to Ghana cedis, and then you get to define what account TotalEnterprise should use to record all your company withheld taxes. Company withheld taxes is an account used to hold mostly corporate taxes and also withholding taxes. So all those kind of taxes will be kept in this company withheld taxes account, which is supposed to be a current asset account anyway. And so that is that. And then anytime you don't have an account here that fits your use, you can just go into finance settings and under your chart of accounts add one, and then you come in and set it over here. And then we come to the income surplus account. Obviously that is where all your retained earnings are going to be stored. And then you have your income taxes payable. So that is where all your taxes that are due for payment will also be recorded. That includes taxes such as your even your withholding taxes, right? And your pay as you earn as well. So when you run your payroll, all the pay as you earn that you as a company must remit on behalf of your staff will be stored under taxes payable. Also social security payments will actually be stored not under taxes payable but under payables account, under the payables account actually. So you can see here that here the payables account has been set to accruals, and then you have a receivables account which is set to accounts receivable. Remember all this data, okay, that is showing in the drop downs are being pulled out from the chart of accounts. So here we've just logged each of these drop downs to the type of account, because income taxes payable will always be a current liability account, and the receivables account is always a current asset account, and so on and so forth. And you have a stock or inventory account. You get to define that as well. What is that used for? Anytime you do a purchase of inventory or stock items that must be tracked on the balance sheet, maybe inventory items that are going to be used in production, or perhaps items that you actually buy and resell as a wholesale or retail company. Such items you want to keep the value of it on the balance sheet, and so this setting, stock or inventory setting, allows you to tell TotalEnterprise that, look, anytime I'm doing such a transaction, by default store up the value in this current asset account. Then you have the base revenue account. Tells TotalEnterprise that this is my primary income, And so anytime I do an invoice to a customer, by default record that invoice value into this account, this revenue account. So by default, anytime you do any sort of invoicing, Total Enterprise would place the value of the sale into this revenue account. And if that happen not to be the type of revenue, you can go into your finance forms, your revenue form, and you can edit it and change it to something else. And then you have your cost of revenue, which is your cost of sale as well, and that you get to also choose that. You can always edit the description of the type of account, as I said, on the chart of accounts is where you do all that. Unfulfilled orders is used by Total Enterprise when you're doing invoicing, customer invoicing. And when we talk about sales, I would go into the detail. So check out the sales tutorials, how to use Total Enterprise for invoicing customers and all that. But just to explain the value of unfulfilled orders. Unfulfilled orders are applicable where you are actually involved in pre-orders. So maybe you have a website and you deal in merchandise that customers can pre-order. So they can come to your website, they can fill a form and say, I'd like 2 bags of cabbages, and here, take the money. So they give you the money. Now obviously financially, once money comes to your hand, you're obliged to deliver the goods or services for which you were paid. And so until you've delivered the goods or services, it becomes an unfulfilled order, and that must be carried on your balance sheet as a liability. So this is what this field is meant for, unfulfilled orders. So you go create a current liability account to store up such transactions value, and then until you pay, it stays on your balance sheet, so you know you need to pay it up. Kind of like how banks take deposits, and they have to track that until they give you back your principal and your interest. Great. So that's that, unfulfilled orders. And then value added tax is self-explanatory. GST stands for goods and services tax, and so this is an account that you can pick to keep track of your value added tax. Yeah. And that sort of stuff. And when you do invoicing, those percentages that you've defined as well for your VAT and so on and so forth will automatically be used to store up your value added tax due. All right, and then finally, this field, disable finance approval, is used to actually tell Total Enterprise that, look, I'm not going to be manually going over and having to approve every single transaction, and so I want to disable finance approval. So anytime anyone does any transaction, so far as they have the privilege to record, say, an expense, they can actually approve it. That's what it means. If you were to disable it, what it means is that even if they have the right to create an expense, I as an owner of the company need to be able to oversee it all and actually approve of it before they themselves can commit it to the general ledger. So that is what this field is used for. By default, it is selected, so any transaction made, the person who had the privilege to record a transaction can actually approve it. And there you are. So I'm just going to make a change, a simple change that we can see here, more profitable than gold. And then I'll say the address is Accra, Ghana. And then I can just put a cell number here and save it. Now before I save this, again, just to help you understand, all these settings here under the details are used to create a letterhead for your report in Total Enterprise. So the logo here is actually going to be used on every report, professional report you generate on Total Enterprise. The cell numbers are going to be used to show that these are your company details. This is your logo, company name, address, just as a letterhead is supposed to look like. So that is the value of all these settings over here. Great, and I think I've done a great job explaining this. If I missed anything, just let me know. And then I can save this. You can see the company plans available under this company, and it tells me that company settings have been updated successfully. Fantastic. So if that's true, I should see a change, and there it is. More profitable than gold limited. This has changed from moreprofitablethangold.com. So I can go to the dashboard and I can see that here I have the change as well. And I don't know if I can pull a report immediately. I think I can, yes. So I can pull a report. So you see the balance sheet, you see the letterhead. Let's just open this quickly. And I can pull a report for September 2019. So let's do that. Okay, so I just quickly pull a report for September 2019. Voila. And there we are. You can see the letterhead. You have the more profitable than gold logo, which was uploaded under company settings, and you have the address. Great. And you can always upload the phone numbers field. You can update the phone number setting so that you can have the phone number showing there, and you could even add a website if you wanted to in the address so that shows over here. So whatever you put there is what's going to show on the letterhead, and there you have a letterhead for your professional reporting. Fantastic. And like I said, with the base currency, you see saying here that this is the presentation currency. So this is actually checking your base currency to see, and then it's actually doing all the numbers here are being reported according to the base currency. So this is how you get to change, make changes to your company settings in TotalEnterprise. Again, you go to company, and then whatever company it is you want to make changes to, you can edit it, and once you edit, you can make your changes and save it, and TotalEnterprise will work with your settings. Thank you for watching.